Hello everyone, this is Bob Ratcliffe with Padua Financial. This presentation is about your money tree, how you can go ahead and enjoy retirement. You can have liquidity to be able to pull money out when you need to, and also how we can protect our money from the tax man. Now, as kids, don't you remember that you'd go to your parents and sit there and ask for something like a toy for Christmas for your birthday, or want to go ahead and grab some ice cream. The ice cream man is coming by in the neighborhood. And they'd always look down at you and say, honey, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, this one does. So I hope you sit back. I hope you have something to sip on. And if you want to take notes, you're more than welcome to. And I look forward to answering your questions. So how would you like to generate an average rate of return of 7 to 10%? As the market goes up, you get to participate in it, but when the market is tumbling and going down, you don't lose any money. You're also not having to worry about taxes. Your money accumulates tax-free, and also with this little known IRS tax code, you can access your money tax-free. It's just like having a tree in your backyard that grows money. Isn't that sweet? I love that picture. And again, you can pull money out of your investments anytime, tax-free. Now, have you ever experienced a loss from the market downturn? Like back in 2001 when we had the terrorist attack. I mean, if you were indexed or linked to the market in any way, shape, or form, especially with mutual funds or annuities, a lot of people lost 30 to 40%. And you didn't pull your money out immediately because you kept thinking it's going to come back, it's going to come back. And then in 2008, we had the housing crisis and we lost another 40% in the market. And so many people, it took them, like up to 12 years to gain that money back that they lost. Okay, if you live to be age 100, will you outlive your money during retirement? They're actually saying that it's going to be commonplace here pretty soon because by age 65, if you're pretty healthy, they say it's not going to be a stretch to make it to age 79 or above. Will your investment blossom as a death benefit upon your passing away? And will it be tax-free? I keep throwing that in there, don't I? Okay, well, the harsh reality is with experimentation, we hope and we have a determination that we want the best and everything, but there's always the unknown and the uncertain. Today, tomorrow, the right type, healthy, are you approvable? So many questions, so much uncertainty in this day and age. Well, your money tree that protects your money and it keeps growing. And you'll have a living benefit and a death benefit at the same time. A fund that continues to generate an average return of 7 to 10%, and you can max out your payments in as little as 5 years, and then you don't have to put any more money into the fund. And if you know the law of 72, all you do is divide the percentage into 72, and that tells you how many years it takes for your money to double. And it's not uncommon for us to strike 10%. And you can take 10 divided into 72, and that tells you every 7.2, let me get that correct, 7.2 years, your money will double. I'm also going to share the Internal Revenue Tax Code, 101A, 72E, and 7702. You must follow these tax codes when we structure these funds in order to make sure that you don't get taxed or penalized. Okay, so presently you might be losing money in a bad market downturn. But we're going to go ahead and take you and get you on the phone and cover several things. And we're going to show you how you can lose zero money in a bad market downturn. So you won't be worrying about that anymore. That will not be a concern. Hardly nobody knows about it in the insurance company's recent history because this takes a lot of work. A lot of insurance agents like to write annuities. They like to write 401ks. You always hear about those by the Money Channel because the government wants you to pay taxes. And if you take the money out too early, they want you to pay the penalty to the IRS. And after you start drawing your money out, you still have to pay taxes on it. So yes, the government will want you to get the 401k. They will want you to get annuity. Excuse me. In some cases, this might be right for you. Now, is this duplicatable? Yes, but they have to be structured correctly to take advantage of the IRS tax codes, and we customize these for each client. So this is a living benefit you can personally use. So it's not something that we build it for you, and when you pass away, your family gets a death benefit. It's actually a living benefit. You have liquidity. You can pull money from it anytime you need it, and you don't pay taxes on it. It's perfect if you're into real estate management with the money. So you can pull money from it, do a real estate deal, and put the money back if you want, but it's not necessary. But this will also include a death benefit. So you live your life, however long that you live it, and you keep pulling money out because it keeps making more money. Like I said, it's your money tree and it's tax-free. But no matter what happens when you do pass away, the actual money left will blossom and it passes on to your family. Internal Revenue Code 101A. Did I mention it's tax-free? You're going to hear that a lot from me. But these codes are so important. You'll be living off the gains in your policy. Yet when you pass away, your $1 million policy will blossom into 2 to 2.5 million for your family. That'll be a nice surprise for them. Internal Revenue Tax Code 72E. Investments are taxed, but insurance isn't. Money that grows inside an insurance policy always grows tax-free. Internal Revenue Tax Code 7702. This is the one you're going to like because this is the one where you can withdraw money from the gains or from the interest, from the principal, and when you pull it out, you don't have to pay taxes on it. Now, they had some problems with this in the beginning because there's a brokerage firm that actually put this fund together that was E.F. Hutton. And when they first put this fund together and they used those 3 tax codes, people were literally pulling $500,000 out, dropping it into the fund, and then pulling $50,000 a year out of it, tax-free, and living on that. So they dropped $500,000 in, and every year, $50,000 tax-free. Well, the banks didn't like this. A lot of the funds didn't like this because the people that were catching on to this they're pulling all their funds out, and they said we need to slow these people down because they're going to crash us, they're going to ruin us. So what they did is they put TEFRA together in 1982, and they actually had to go back and modify it with DEFRA. But what they said is you can't just put all your money in these funds one time and start pulling out. You need to do it over a 5-year period at the minimum. You can push it out to 7 years, 9 years, 11 years if you want to. But if you have large amounts of money, if you have a lot of assets and you want to move them out of the tax category and the non-taxable, you can put it into this fund over a 5-year period. Let's say if it's a $500,000 policy, you put $100,000 in it every year for 5 straight years. And you're going to have like a $1.25 million insurance policy on you. But within 10 years, that money's going to double and it's going to be $1 million. But the reason I'm telling you that is that 5 years that you're putting that money in, you can't take any money out till that 5th year when you make your final deposit into the fund. And at that point in time, according to TEFRA and DEFRA, you can pull out any gains tax-free, and they can't do nothing about it. And we got TAMRA. That came out also. And that's Technical and Miscellaneous Revenue Act of 1988. You must pay maximum amount into the policy over 5 years, minimum for it to be tax-free when you withdraw it. I'm completely free divulging everything for the first time in this presentation, so I can share with you how you can have your own money tree. You're looking to have a safe way to generate gains of 7 to 10% and completely protect your money tax-free, then you're definitely in the right place. What is it that makes some life insurance agents earn millions and build massive wealth for others? Well, it's because they have a passion for helping others. My name's Bob, and there's my partner, Gilberto. And we have Padua Financial Services, which has been in business for 35 years. When IULs came along, pretty much we were rubbing our eyes looking at each other going, this can't be real. And it's just evolved into a beautiful vehicle, but there's work that you have to put into it, and you have to stay in contact with your clients. A lot of people like just the cut and dry, like, I'll say this, there you go, enjoy. But this product here, it really takes a relationship with your clients, and you really want their well-being and their family to be taken care of. Did you know a majority of agents use these policies straight out of the box? The returns are not maximized like I'm talking about. If time is taken to fine-tune these policies, where I talked about earlier, where you customize it to each client, nothing beats them as a living benefit for you. And eventually, a death benefit for your family, passing on generational wealth, which that's what we all want, don't we? Don't be a statistic. Reposition your assets in your favor, not for the IRS. Take account of all your assets before we have our call. Your IRA, your 401k. You don't want to just take them and move them straight into it. You want to strategically roll out the funds over a couple of years. That way you can minimize taxes and increase your gains. Your savings account, 1%, seriously? The cost of living can go up to 3.8% some years, so you're actually losing money. If you're like a lot of people and have rental properties, you might actually look at the rental property and say, with all the headaches, how much money am I actually making off the rental property? It might be a lot better just to sell the property, move the money into the fund, and again, it's tax-free, and you're getting like anywhere from 7 to 10% return. Any assets, that's a tax liability, move it into the fund. Okay, after processing the information, we have a link to book a call. But first, we want to make sure that you're committed to change your future. You have a lot of people that are tire kickers. They find something curious and interesting, they want to check it out. But yeah, we're pretty much trying to give you all the information up front, so at least your satisfaction or your curiosity will be satisfied. Second, which is easy, we just ask some questions on your present retirement plans and what your wants are. And again, we want to make sure that you get what you're looking at or looking for or want as your goals. Now, before we finish, we'd like to share an example visually so it makes it a little bit easier for you to understand. It really is pretty simple. So let's say Ted is age 62 and he wants to protect his assets from taxes and in the future during retirement while enjoying his income. So he invests $500,000 over 5 years. And we'll use an apartment building as an example. First year, we drop $100,000 into our fund. So year one, the first floor of the 5-story building is rented out. Year two, you begin rolling over your 401k for another $100,000. So now we have the second floor rented out. Year three, you start selling your rental property and another $100,000 drops into your fund. And you can see by the illustration, the third floor is rented out. We just have 2 more floors to go. Year four, another $100,000. Just imagine, in 10 years, Ted will cross the $1 million mark in his fund, and it will double every 7.5 years at 9% from that time on. So of course, the younger you are, the more amount of money that you'll have to live on. But a lot of clients that we have are usually around age 55 and above, and they're concerned that they didn't take enough precautions to build for retirement. So these funds are perfect for you. You put together a fund, you build it for 10 years, and at the end of 10 years, you start drawing your retirement, but also you can start drawing from your fund tax-free. Year five, the last deposit of $100,000 goes into your fund, making the total $500,000. So all 5 floors are rented out. And you can see down at where the door is, we have a stack of money with some coins. Maybe it looks like some Bitcoins in there. Now you can stop any further payments. That's it. The fund is fulfilled. We call this a max funded IUL. And you can draw money out anytime from the gains made tax-free for the rest of your life. So your money is actually going to grow much larger than how much that you can take out each year. So again, this will be your money tree. So a structured insurance policy that accumulates tax-free, average rate of return, 7 to 10%. When the market goes up, you participate. When the market goes down, you don't lose. You can access your money tax-free, and you won't outlive your money, which is a big concern these days because we're all going to live much longer. And when you pass away, any monies in there blossoms, then transfers income tax-free to your family. This is what I call a true win-win, because while you're alive, you have a living benefit, but when you pass, your family gets generational wealth. So, what does your retirement look like right now? So we're not here to point fingers, or we're not here to judge you, but we want you to seriously look at it, and we want you to say, this is all I need to do. I need to move these things around, and I'll be much better off in 10 years. Or do you need our help? Would you like to reach out to us and schedule a consultation? Because me and Gil, we want to positively affect as many people as possible with a secure, enjoyable future for them and their family. So when you're looking for a great investment, it has to pass the test below. And I keep saying these things over because I want to drive this home so you can remember these with no problem when you're talking to your companion. It accumulates tax-free. There's not an investment out there that does this because it's an investment. But due to the tax code, you use a fund with insurance, and that's written off as tax-free. And the reason being is because the U.S. government says these individuals actually want to build for their own retirement, so we don't have to use our government programs to take care of them, or Medicaid to take care of them, all these different programs that we're going to be spending money on to make sure that they're, don't fall in sickness or something bad happens to them. They're taking care of that for us. So since they're going out of their way to provide for their own retirement, we're going to make sure that that money is tax-free. So the government did you a favor right there. And of course, the average rate of return, 7 to 10%. A lot of annuities, 401ks, they're doing like 5%. Really, on average, it's 3.5% because after you take out what the management fees are, and also when you go to pull that money out, you got to pay taxes on it, so it's much less. So they can say they're getting like 15% return, but then you take out management fees, you take out taxes. When you go to pull it out, it's way less. So yeah, you want to get your money rolled out of those as quick as possible. Market goes up, and then you get to participate. Everybody loves that. But the sad part is in 2001, like we were talking about, in 2008, when everybody was losing up to 40% for each event, they were losing their money, they were losing their principal. Well, with this, we have a 0% floor. And that means that when the market goes down, you do not lose any money. It stops right there, and you won't lose your principal. And you can actually do things to modify your fund where you can say, well, I have a 15% cap, which means if the market goes up to 20% that year, you're only going to make 15%. But yet, you're also doing that because you're going, I'll take 13% because I want a 2% floor. So that means you're thinking, you know what, this year looks a little dangerous with all the politics going on and the wars going on. If the market does do a downturn, at least you make 2% on your money. But I'll tell you one better. If it's a bad year like it was 2001, what we do is on the anniversary date, we roll everybody into just a fixed fund, which is a 5% return. So instead of just drawing 0%, we tell our clients, let's do the 5% this year because all the things that are happening. And then next anniversary, we'll reevaluate. Also, after you max fund your IUL, you can access your money tax-free, which is beautiful, being your own bank. You'll not outlive your money with this fund. And when you pass away, any monies in there will just explode. They'll just blossom. The wealthy in the beginning were the only ones to know about this because specialized individuals that knew how to structure IULs correctly went straight to the wealthy, and that's where they made their money. So if you can make up to a 10% return tax-free, what assets of yours would you move into your fund? You might want to write that down for a phone call. The result of executing this correctly. Did you know you can start with as little as $500 per month, and instead of the 5-year max funding, you can select 11-year max funding. If your monies double every 7.5 years, what would your retirement look like? And even though I'm talking about the minimums, seriously, for a maximum, you can put in $1 million a year if you want, so we're not concerned about that. But for the minimum to get into this, we're looking at about $500 per month. The one question you need to ask yourself, is there a better way? After our discovery call, then we just have to check to see if you qualify for the fund. Cracking the code. Yes, there's always a reason why we cross pathways in each other's lives. I will personally draw up the illustration when you are approved so that you know your financial pathway to a tax-free retirement. The truth is, there are some individuals that I just cannot help yet. Maybe you're not in the proper scenario where you don't have the assets or that your income is not high enough. But if that's the case, I'll be 100% upfront and suggest somebody else or maybe an alternative. I'm only looking for those who are a good fit, who I'm absolutely sure I can help get results for and get them fast. The first step is we're going to complete an application over the phone during a private strategy session with me. We need the application to see two things. One, see if I can help you, and see if I'm the best person help you get the results you want. Also, see if you're ready to set up or step up, commit, and take massive action to generate the results. Yes, we need a commitment on your part. So once you complete your application, you'll be taken to my calendar, and there we'll be able to schedule a time with me to conduct a follow-up session. And that's where I'll be able to show you the illustration. And that will be on a Zoom call, so we can do the presentation. And this is where you'll show, this is where we'll show you how to make it happen the fastest and most predictable way. At the end of the call, one of the two things will happen. You'll be a perfect fit, and I'll extend an invitation to work with me as one of my clients. Or it's not a good fit, and that's totally okay too. Either way, you'll receive an insanely valuable strategy session and will walk away with newfound clarity of exactly where you are right now in your life and what's holding you back from achieving the results you want. That, together with the exact next steps necessary to take action and break through the barriers. It will be the most valuable 30 minutes you'll invest in your future this entire year. Extremely limited opportunity. Of course, these ads are not going to go on forever. Time is a factor, and this opportunity won't avail. I can't even talk. Excuse me. Time is a factor, and this opportunity won't be available online for long. Are you ready to grow your money tree? Well, then go ahead and click below to apply and reserve your spot now. So there'll be a button below this video. Just click on that and you can schedule a time, and we'll get on the phone and we'll be able to chat and see how we can help you. Good day.